The 2025 Orioles have been bad. The Orioles have gone from a 101 season in 2023 in the first place bye in the playoffs to just 75 wins in 2025, missing the playoffs by a lot. This disappointing year has been caused by many issues, many of which have been blamed on GM Mike Elias, who's become a punching bag in Baltimore ever since the wins stopped coming in. Mike Elias' lack of aggressiveness in signing big free agents to get a much-needed veteran star on a team of young players. Though this team has been a throwaway for the Birds, things used to be much, much worse.
Right center field, he crushed it. Back it goes, and that ball is gone.
The day is August 18th, 2017. The Baltimore Orioles are up against the Angels. In the third inning, Manny Machado steps up to the plate. He jumps on a 2-2 fastball and hits a 2-run home run.
Left center field, did he do it again? That ball is back, and that ball is gone.
He steps up again in the fifth. This time, he hits a solo shot to center field.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fly ball into left center. Oh my goodness! Way back there! Way back there! It's a grand slam!
He then steps up one more time in the bottom of the ninth. Down 7-5, Machado hits a walk-off grand slam in an electric Orioles comeback. Machado becomes the third player in MLB history to finish a 3-home-run game with a walk-off grand slam. 11 months later, he was traded to the Dodgers in exchange for 5 picks.
I mean, are you kidding me?
Baltimore, already struggling at the time, ended the season with an abysmal record of 47-115, the worst record in franchise history. Along with Machado, other O's including Kevin Gausman and Jonathan Schoop were also shipped off. By the end of the year, what was an exciting team just 1 year ago was almost unrecognizable as manager Buck Showalter and GM Dan Duquette were let go as well. By the end of the year, it was clear that a rebuild had begun in Baltimore. With Baltimore entering a rebuilding phase, we would then see some pretty tough baseball to watch produced by the O's from 2019 to 2021. The 2019 season ended with a record of 54-108, played with mostly young and inexperienced players. The shortened 2020 season saw slight improvement, but no playoff hopes. The 2021 season hit absolute rock bottom, with a 110-loss season, including a 19-game losing streak. In 2022, the Orioles woke up from the nightmare that started with the Manny Machado trade. Only missing the playoffs by 3 games, it was clear that a new era had begun. A team that went into the year projected to be around 62 wins, a near playoff run was definitely a good sign for a rebuilding team. The 4th season of team manager Brandon Hyde had finally ended in a success. Now, what led them to this newfound success, you may ask? Number 1. Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson call-ups. The 2 most highly touted Oriole prospects getting called up gave the Orioles a much-needed boost. Rutschman got called up in May. The Orioles had been 16-24 before his call-up, and were 67-55 after. Henderson was called up September 6. Though he only played 34 games, he hit .259 and 4 home runs, with a home run in his first MLB at-bat to give the lineup a big boost in the final stretch.
The helmet is long gone, as is the ball. Let the hair flow, Gunnar Henderson.
Number 2, the bullpen. Early season closing opportunities were held by Jorge Lopez, who secured 19 saves with a 1.6 ERA. Later in that season, though, after his call-up, the 6'4" Dominican Felix Bautista became the team's closer, partly due to his ability to consistently throw over 100 miles per hour. He ended the year with 15 saves and an ERA of 2.19.
And a strikeout of Kepler.
Number 3, the 10-game win streak. From July 3rd to July 13th, the Orioles rolled off a 10-game win streak. This streak also pushed them over 500 for the first time that season. The Orioles' true breakthrough came in 2023 when they recorded a 101-win season, winning the LA East and making the playoffs for the first time in 7 years. Gunnar Henderson had his breakout as well, batting .255 with 28 home runs and 82 RBIs. Adley Rutschman led the team in batting average, hitting .277 and showing his strong abilities behind the plate. Cedric Mullins had another strong year, along with Anthony Santander, hitting a team-leading 28 home runs. The starters on the team were no longer a liability, with Kyle Bradish emerging as a solid starter with a .283 ERA. The bullpen continued to be shut down, with Felix Bautista continuing his rise. 2024 was another strong season with a record of 92-70. More of the same this year with the Orioles, building on their strides from last year and falling in the wild card in the postseason that year. But the biggest story in Baltimore was the acquisition of former Brewers ace Corbin Burnes. The O's received former Cy Young winner in exchange for two top O's prospects, Joey Ortiz and D.L. Hall. Corbin led the team with 15 wins, an ERA of 2.92, and 181 strikeouts, along with 194.1 innings pitched.
On an 0-2, up and away for strike three.
Looking back on this 2025 season, it's hard to find a reason why the Birds had such a major decline. It was a very disappointing year considering the success that they had the last 3 years. The nail in the coffin occurred on May 17th, when the 6-year manager Brandon Hyde was fired. A very well-respected figure in Baltimore that will be remembered for getting them out of the nightmare of the rebuilding years was let go after the 15-28 start to the season. Brandon Hyde was never able to secure a playoff victory with the Baltimore Orioles. Factors contributing to the underwhelming season include the poor pitching, as Corbin Burnes was not re-signed in the offseason, and last year's reliable starter in Kyle Bradish had not touched a field due to Tommy John surgery. Because of this, the Orioles were forced to rely on pitchers like Zach Eflin and Cade Povich to carry the rotation. Along with this, key batters had suffered injuries that forced them to miss extensive time. Colton Cowser got a concussion, Tyler O'Neill, who was the biggest offseason addition, suffered wrist inflammation, Felix Bautista out with shoulder discomfort, Zach Eflin with back discomfort, Adley Rutschman suffered a left oblique strain that kept him out through the All-Star break, and Gunnar Henderson was forced to start the season late with an intercostal muscle strain. Along with the injuries, the frustrations in Baltimore have unfortunately landed on GM Mike Elias. Fans state that his hesitation to spend big money to support the talent-filled squad that they have cost him 3 years of contention for the World Series. While the Red Sox were acquiring Garrett Crochet and Alex Bregman, or the Mariners were signing Eugenio Suarez, the Orioles were signing Tyler O'Neill, who only hit 9 home runs this year and has spent significant time on the IL. Also signing Charlie Morton, who had an ERA of 5.42 and is no longer even on the team.
With a ground ball to second. Frazier, one. Henderson! Yes!
Though the year was depressing for Baltimore fans, all hope had not been yet lost. 2025 forced one man to truly have possibly one of the best comeback seasons we've ever seen on the mound. In 2024, the Baltimore Orioles traded Connor Norby and Kyle Stowers to the Marlins for lefty Trevor Rogers. This trade for an entire year was criticized in Baltimore because of the end to the season. In 4 starts, Trevor Rogers had an ERA of 7.11. Not very great, I would say. He then was demoted to the minors. All fans had lost hope, but then something magical happened. In 2025, Trevor Rogers had an ERA of 1.81 in 110 innings with 103 strikeouts, winning the team MVP, the first pitcher to win it since 2002, completing one of the greatest comebacks we've ever seen in baseball. Another high point of the 2025 Orioles was the call-up and contract extension of catching and first base prospect Samuel Basillo. On September 5th, he hit a walk-off home run, and then 4 days later, he hit another one. And finally, on August 26, Kyle Bradish made his return, striking out 10 Red Sox, giving the Orioles another reliable starter back. He ended the year with a 2.53 ERA.
Orioles pitcher, 11 straight starts of 2 runs or less.
The Orioles, in my opinion, have the best chance for a bounce-back season in 2026. With a revamped pitching staff led by Trevor Rogers and Kyle Bradish, and a young batting core led by Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, and Jackson Holliday, the Orioles showed flashes of greatness towards the end of the season. If the Orioles are able to get momentum, they can become one of the most dangerous teams in the MLB. If things go right for the Birds, 2026 could very possibly be known as the year the Orioles won it all.
And Mullins drives this one into right field. That's a fair ball. That is deep. That is out of here.